Welcome, this is Candace Arney. I am here with Joel Bruce Wallach, the inventor of Powerforms. Our subject is brain balancing and soothing, and Joel is going to be talking to us about the red divine essence disc. So, Joel.
Candace, brain balancing and the earth disk, the red divine essence earth disk. So what's the connection? The connection with the earth, with the principle of earth, which is grounding, stability, somewhat slower vibration. Well, think about the brain. It gets out of balance because it's too wrapped up. It gets out of balance because the left brain, right brain are out of sync.
Right.
So let's start with some techniques. You have your earth disk, and check this out. We associate the crown chakra on top of the head with a high vibration and with cosmic energy. But let's do an experiment. Let us place on the top of our head the earth energy. Now, the meridians that flow through your body at this point are going to start to, in their own way, flow through the tuned earthy circuitry of the earth disk. I can feel for me as I do this, it's revving things down a little bit, but my brain is still clear.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost as if I have more of a sense of what some people call the witness state or the observer state.
Oh, okay. Oh.
This tells us that we typically think the upper chakras and the brain, that's a high vibration, but high isn't good in and of itself. Sometimes a slow earthy energy stabilizes the upper chakras and the brain. So what was that like when you were doing that? And if you take it off the head, you can actually notice the change has occurred.
Yeah, it's it's like a drawing down into my body. Is what
Mm-hmm.
it felt. Just
Mm-hmm.
a drawing down into my body.
Yeah. I have a sense as well with that. It's as if I'm looking deeper or perceiving more deeply.
Well, there's a clarity
Mm-hmm.
that comes with drawing down into your body
Yeah.
and not being so up in here, which is usually one of my problems, is I'm always up in my mind. The
Mm-hmm.
drawing down into my body, it's almost like okay, now I can see more clearly.
Yes. One more exercise.
Okay.
And this is for the back of the head where the primitive, more animal, instinctive part of the brain is.
Mm-hmm.
And it can get so affected by so many things. So we take some earth energy with the earth disk. I'm going to hold it here and lightly pulse it. It looks,
Huh. Okay.
now at first, it just seems to be slightly activating the energy in the head, but it's engaging the brain energies and starting to unify them.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I feel more like this is not so much connecting in the body, but connecting my brain.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I felt.
Yes.
I shouldn't say feel, it's kind of what I know, what I sense. It's not a
Mm-hmm.
feeling, it's what I sense.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And what's really great with this is all of these different exercises, whether, because all of them are different, whether it's the neutral space or it's the red or the
Yeah.
activator or the purple, they're all going to give you a different experience of brain
Yes.
balancing, all of them. And
Yeah.
so, given where you are, of how you're feeling and why you're choosing to work with your power forms,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to help you decide which disc to try. Or maybe
Yes.
you can use all of them, but if you just have the red one, this is going to work with the brain balancing.
Right. And you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
However, if you do want a slower vibration, use something earthy as opposed to something different.
Yes, something fire.
Not that you can do it wrong, but you can get something that's closer to what you're going for. So an earthy energy for the brain helps it. Just before we go, try this. Earthy energy, forehead, forebrain, third eye. Yeah.
You know, it all just makes me feel, when I use this around my head, just,
Mm.
a total, like, coming together and a
Mm.
clarity.
Yeah.
This brings me lots of clarity around what's happening in my head.
Yes. And for some, it would be a somewhat new experience because if one's only history is either being too revved up
Right,
or just lazing in front of the TV, what we're doing here is this third category.
right,
We're obviously not too revved up. We're not zoning out.
right,
We're getting more present,
right.
but more present to what? We're more present to the moment and the subtle energy of our brain and our body.
And how we're sensing
Mm-hmm.
everything around us.
It's a third reality. We're not trying to escape reality.
Right.
We're not hypervigilant or preoccupied.
Well,
Yeah.
you had mentioned earlier the watcher,
Mm-hmm.
and I've
Yeah.
always heard it as who's watching who, and
Yeah.
so
Through consciousness.
so I really feel, with playing with the red disc, I feel more at a state of awareness, not so much
Mm-hmm.
stuck in my head, but I still feel clear in thinking, but I feel a total awareness. Like I
Yeah.
can see everything around me, feel, sense everything.
I was noticing that. Even before you just said that, I was noticing I'm seeing details on the camera that I'm looking into in a way that I've not noticed before. And some people would think, well, he didn't notice his camera, big deal. A lot of what we're talking about is very subtle, and just the idea that you would notice details and you'd feel more balanced and you'd feel that you were able to observe subtle things.
Yes.
When you're doing it, it's really profound. But if you try and talk about it, people will say, so what?
It's all about the experience, Joel. And
Very much
everyone's
about the experience, and that's so much what power forms are about, is enhancing the depth of your experience so that you're more balanced, so that you're more here and able to recognize the mundane and the sacred and everything in between.
the experience of life.
The experience of life. Yeah.
So on that, Joel, thank you so much. And
Mm.
well, till next time.
Till next time, Candace.
Bye bye.